Hi folks, Bryan here. Andre didn't really feel like making a video today, so you got me. I do have a little bit of a project. My mother-in-law has requested some rag rug needles or rag rug. She's making rag rugs, as I'm sure many of you are doing during the pandemic. So, oh, wait a minute. Rag rug. This is our cat's favorite rug now. And it's pretty nice, actually. I really like it. But she requested some needles. So I did a little research, and it looked like a lot of people were making needles themselves out of old toothbrushes and things. So I kind of did some faked out some measurements, and I found some offcuts, some oak that we had, and I'm gonna make, I think, 2 needles and see how it goes. I think they're called needles. I have no idea. I've never made one of these things before, so we'll see. I hope you like the video. Okay, we are in the workshop. We've got a piece of oak that's just an offcut that I've got. It's about 1/2 inch by 2 long and 2 wide. So I'm going to make this thing about 3 inches, approximately 3 inches long. I'm going to make 2 different ones, one a little more pointy and one a little more of a stubby point. And I've got some measuring devices, and I've got a Forstner bit. So that's what I will use to make the holes with. It's about a 1/4 inch for it. Well, not about a 1/4 inch Forstner bit. It is a 1/4 inch Forstner bit that will not focus. So I think I'll just kind of go through this, and hope you enjoy the ride. Originally, I was thinking I was just going to make these 1/2 inch wide because I've got a 1/4 inch Forstner bit, so that should be plenty. They'd be pretty much square. And then after I made the measurements, I thought, you know, this is a kind of a seat of the pants kind of thing. I'm not doing this exactly. I have absolutely no plans. I just thought, hey, let's make a video. So after I drew these lines, I realized I'm going to sand it down, and I'm probably not going to get these holes perfectly centered, and so I ended up making it about an 1/8 inch wider, just to have a little extra space. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, yeah, let's go ahead and make that change. So like I said, it's really only about 1/8 of an inch more, but it gives me more room to kind of play around, because I know I'm not going to cut it straight. I'm not gonna get these holes drilled in perfectly straight. I'm not gonna spend that kind of time on it right now, because honestly, I have no idea if these are even gonna work for what she wants. So if she loves them, then that's great. If she hates them, then that's great too, because I didn't spend a lot of time on them, and I can redo them and make them a little more what she wants. She didn't really give me any directions, so I figure, I don't know, maybe I should have made them out of a toothbrush like everybody else is doing on the internet. I'm sure we have an old toothbrush somewhere. Measuring out, it's about 3 inches. Maybe it's a little longer than 3 inches. And then I'm just kind of roughing in where I want the point to be. So that's going to be more the stubby point that I'm putting in right there. Like I said, I'm making 2 of these, and one of them is kind of more of a stubby point, and one of them will be more of a longer needle-like point. And I'm doing 2 of them because, again, I've got this nice big offcut piece, and well, big for an offcut,
and I don't know what I'm doing. So I figure, well, I'll make two. When in doubt, you don't know what you're doing, heck, make two of them, right? One of them is probably going to work better than the other. So that's my thinking. So I'm measuring up about a quarter, or I think it was a ½ inch for the hole. And that's where I'll put the center of the hole. And you'll see later on, I actually decided to kind of make it a little more oblong. So right there is where the middle of the hole is going to be. And then that's about 3 inches right there. Okay, let's go to the drill. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of set up my square here, just to kind of give me a little square. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some tape on the back of this piece. Usually I try and use painter's tape, that blue tape, and it usually does a pretty good job of keeping things from tearing through if you're cutting or if you're drilling, that kind of thing. So unfortunately, as you'll see, I think I had two things working against me here. Number one was this was not painter's tape and it was kind of flimsy. The second thing I have working against me is that Andre has this drill press set up for drilling metal. And so it's, you want it to go a lot faster if you're going to be drilling into wood. So I realized it a bit too late, and then I thought, okay, why is this the sucker smoking? And so I just said the heck with it and went for it. And as you can see here, I just kind of made these a little bit oblong. I drilled one hole, and then I drilled. Oh no, yeah, you can see it's a really bad tear out there, but I'm going to sand it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So here I've set up the second hole. And I don't think I even bothered with the tape this time, and I just went a lot slower. I think, if I were going to do a bunch of these, if I knew what I was doing and I knew what size and shape and all that sort of stuff, I would just make a jig and use my router, a little plunge router, and just make them perfect every single time. But this will work. Okay, now we're on to the bandsaw, and I realize now that I should not have attached the camera to the bandsaw. I should have had it attached to something else. It's a really cool bandsaw, actually. I really like this one. I think it's called a Pegasus or something like that. It's you can make really sharp turns. It's really cool. But I'm just eyeballing this thing. I'm not trying to make it perfect because I don't exactly know what I'm doing, but the bandsaw sure does make it easy. So this one that I'm cutting now is for the more of the stubby ended one. Not so sharp, not so needle-like or pointy. You'll get an idea once you see the other one. So I've actually flipped them around here, and I'm cutting them so that they're, you know, similar on each side. And then the majority of the work I'm just taking over to the sander, and we'll do over there. I'm gonna kind of chamfer all the edges and just make sure there's nothing sharp, or nobody's gonna get any splinters or anything. Okay, over to the belt sander. So with the belt sander, I'm just kind of, I guess, fine-tuning it. Trying to make it what I think it should be. And then, again, if I knew what I was doing, I probably would make a jig and just make a bunch of these with the plunge router. But for two of them and two different ones, trying to figure out which one might work better, or if she even likes them at all, then I think this is probably the best route to go. It's quick and easy, and this sander is pretty awesome. So so that's what I'm doing here, and that's the longer sort of needle one. I didn't want it to be too sharp, but that was the idea. And then the other one is more of the stubby. It's more of a stubby kind of a end to it. And I don't know, you know, I've never made one of these, so I don't know. I've never made one of these rugs, so I don't know which one might work better. Just realized it looks like I'm about to go out and kill some tiny vampires. Making these wooden stakes. Tiny wooden stakes. And Jet always has to get in on the action. He's got to make sure we're doing everything right. And we're done with the sander. So from here, I'm going to take them over to the jewelry bench and use the flex shaft because it's what I have available. And as you can see here, Andre has this cool little thing that has sandpaper wrapped around it, and I can just slide that in there and kind of sand it around and then chamfer the edges of that of the hole. And really just, it's not going to be super pretty, but I don't know. Andrea said they looked cute when they were done, so I'm going to go with that. But this little tool really made quick work of it. Yeah, that's just a roll of sandpaper, basically, that's wrapped around this thing. You stick it in your flex shaft, and it's awesome. I think it worked great. And there they are. So the next step, here we go. The next step is to put some mineral oil on them, and I'm using mineral oil for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's what I have available in the house. And number two is that's what we use on the butcher block tops. That's what most people should use on their butcher block tops, things like that. If you're going to be working with your hands with these things, it's probably a good idea to use something that you can lick off your hands if you want to. You can stick this thing in your mouth if you want, and it'll be fine because it's got that mineral oil on it. Not that I'm condoning putting wooden needles in your mouth. That's just ridiculous. Trying to get everything into the holes there and make sure we get a good coating of it on everything. And then we'll let it dry. Usually when I do a butcher block, let it dry overnight. And then by morning it's good to go. It's not sticky or no oily residue or anything like that. It's good. Looks like wood. And voila, there they are. So long kind of needle-like one, and then another one that is a little more stubby. See which one she likes. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.